Hey folks, Kay Cooney here. So let me explain the format of what we're going to try and do, and I'll explain why. So I have put together a 5-page document of simple things to look at, to consider at in terms of building and growing a business. And what I realize is that when we try and do Zooms or lives or different things like that, it's really hard to get everybody together based on their schedule. So I thought for the initial launch, for the sake of everybody getting the same information, I'm going to put this video into the group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to print out the pages first and then follow along with what you print out to this video. And hopefully I can keep this as clear as possible. Where is all this coming from? So something that I've learned by doing coaching with Richard Bliss Brooks and doing Silver Retreat this weekend is that while I got myself to silver in fairly quick order, I did it in a way that was much harder than it needed to be. And when you go out to Silver Retreat and Young Living puts that kind of money into you, I think the figure was they spend on average $8,000 per person in attendance. They bring in some pretty amazing speakers and do quite a bit of self-training, but they also reveal a little bit of their secret sauce that you don't get unless you get out to Silver Retreat. So it's kind of one of those, I get that they don't invest in folks till people have shown that they have staying power, but it's so much easier to get there if you had this instruction and you saw some of the resources and some of the stats. One of the things that has been the biggest challenge for me that I've had to get my brain around, and I think that you're starting to see this shift if you follow along in the group, is that I have been talking a lot more about the business, and I would like to explain why. First of all, I don't for 1 second ever want any of you think that I am drinking the corporate Kool-Aid. That has never been my way. I am a pretty open and honest individual with a pretty high level of integrity, and what I have seen or what I have learned in all of this is that it's not just our products that are life-changing, it's the combination of the products along with building a multi-level marketing business. MLMs, so sort of your Tupperwares, your 31 bags, any of that stuff, all of those are MLM. And one of the things that has made them have such a, and I use this word, well, I'll just use this word, has made them sleazy and skanky, is that a lot of folks who get into them have no idea what they're getting into. They don't understand the business model, and they're not provided with adequate training. I don't want to build a team that way. I want my team to feel really empowered and really understand what it is that they've gotten themselves into and why. I will be open and honest with you that there are two people that this is a sweet spot for age-wise, the 20 to 30 something and the 50 to 60 something. And the reason why is when you are in your 20s, and it takes about 4 years to build a business that brings in a 6-figure income, that's a pretty substantial opportunity. And as somebody with multiple degrees, I have several bachelors, I have a master's, I started my PhD. I drove my parents crazy, I think is the is the best way to put that. I wish I had known then what I know now. And yes, I am still paying. I have a monthly student loan payment still. Maybe some of you do too. But to be able to do this when you are in your 20s and have lifelong residual compounding income coming in is a life changer. It's a game changer. So starting early. So I've got both my daughters doing this right now at 24 and 28. And that makes me feel amazingly good as a mom, knowing that I'm helping them to take care of themselves long term. The second group of people that I think that this is really appealing to is those women who have either been in the single mom category, that have either gone through divorce, have divided up assets, or at home for a period of time taking care of their kids. and or are just worried about what their retirement is going to look like. I worry about that all the time. I did do a good amount of saving during my most prolific years in the traditional corporate workforce, but not enough to make up for the years that I wasn't in the workforce. An MLM business allows you to build for your retirement in lightning speed. And because it's residual, it's repeating income each month. We are capped at being only able to stay, to save $5,000 to $7,000 a year, depending on where you are in age-wise and what you've saved. $5,000 to $7,000 a year doesn't allow much in terms of compounding, because we don't have that many years left to retirement. So all of these things have factored in, and when I sat and really got to understand the business module and why it's so powerful and it's so important, I'm pretty gung-ho about this. And what I realized is I'm a product expert, right? So I followed the path that I knew as a nurse, an advanced practice nurse. I've always prided myself being a little educational geek to know everything about everything when I'm teaching it. That's who and what I've been. What I've come to realize is you don't need to be we don't need to be a product expert in all of this, right? Your job is to empower others to learn with you as you're learning. Do not be fooled by the fact that I spent so much time learning this. I was very much driven by taking care of my daughter's health and saving her and buying time. I had a very different motivation, but I do believe that you can do this without doing the amount of work that I did around product knowledge. And I also feel like you can level and use me as your spokesperson or reference or people like, that sort of thing. So I don't want you to think you need to know everything to get out there and do this. The piece that I've missed out on that I didn't know and didn't understand nearly enough about was the business model. And now that I do, I'm realizing it is as important to understand the business model as it is to understand the product. And so you will see a big shift in talking about the product as well as the business. I think that we need to demystify the stigma around it being a sleazy kind of business. I don't think I'm the least bit sleazy. I'm genuinely concerned with helping other people and doing the right things by them. That is my goal and my mission in life, and I'm sure it's yours also. And that's not going to change. I think we are doing people a favor when we talk to them and educate them as to a viable way they can do this business. How do you succeed at this? The truth of the matter is you simply don't quit. We have one of the most strongest legs in Young Living in terms of productivity. We are a powerhouse of women. And we have multi layers of engaged leaders all the way up. And I have to tell you, I haven't wanted for resources since I got in the door. And I think the hustle mentality and wanting this so bad has also exposed me to more folks cross-line and otherwise. So I feel like I'm finally at a point that I can really offer something to you guys in terms of leadership and pointing you in the right direction and having a bigger picture understanding of all of this. Okay, so that's where I'm going with all of this. Now, what does this look like for you? So there's a whole separate issue of why you want to do this and different ways to do this. And the thing is don't get caught up in the detail of that. Let's get the foundation down flat, down right now. Let's just lay it down and then grow and build off of that. I have all the time in the world that you need to sit with you and go over things. You have to initiate that, right? So I can't pull people along. I can run with people, I can lead people, but I can't pull people. So it's going to be up to you to decide what you want. I never say no when you guys need time or resources or one-on-one or meeting or helping, coming and helping to teach and things like that. I truly am here to support you guys. And the truth of the matter is it's because I have been so well supported from my top down. So grab that paper. Hopefully you've printed that all out while I was yakking away, and I'm going to talk to you now about what's in front of you. So I'm going to page 1, Simplicity Implemented. This is how, when you listen to Richard Bliss Brooks, and there is a reason why I chose him. When I met him, immediately he scared the ever-living crap out of me. I found him very intimidating, and I found him intimidating because he so knew people and human behavior like nobody else I had ever met in my life. So he's one of those people that he has studied human behavior, and he has studied the MLM model like nobody I've ever met. And he is an intense individual. And at first, when I first started listening to him, I kind of got turned off. I felt like he was all about MLM, knew nothing about the products, what was wrong with him, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's kind of sleazy, this or that. The more I've come to know him, I've realized what an amazing human being he is, and an amazing studier of human beings. And I've come to really admire him. He lights my fire. He says things in a manner, and that speaks to me, and I'm hoping it's the same for you guys. So if you are not in love with him, please give it a little bit of time. And if he doesn't resonate with you, let me know, and I will help you find other resources. We all learn differently. We're all inspired differently. But after looking and reading and doing more self-help books and audio and this and that, he is the one that makes the most sense to me to get to success in the shortest period of time possible. And even though we're not going to spend any time as we're going over these 5 pages talking about you, there will be an opportunity for that, okay? So the most simplest way to leveling up is speak to one person a day about the products and or the business. One, no matter what, 7 days a week, hit that. Is it great if you do more? Of course it is. But to know that you have that kind of consistency in your business, it pays off. And you will get more and more comfortable, and how you speak about the product and the business will change over time. But get out there and start speaking. And I have cheat sheets. If you need a way to jog your mind as to who you can talk about, who you should be reaching out to, and how you should be reaching out, I have those resources, but I wanted to keep this sheet really simple. So every single day you're going to reach out to one person, and it can be a coworker, it can be somebody in the supermarket. I talk to just about everybody. Here are the steps that are going to help prepare you to what it is you're going to talk to them about. So we get a little bit into Richard Bliss Brooks. Okay, he has a free 12-week course right now. I believe we're into week 2 of it, but he archives everything. So I will share with you, and you're the first ones to know, I am making a substantial investment in myself, and I am spending $10,000 to go to Hawaii and learn with him for a week. I think he's that good, and I think that I deserve that. So I am using some of my savings to do that for myself in January. So I know he is not cheap. When I saw that he was putting together a 12-week free course, I was all over this like white on rice, because I wish I had known this. I'm not saying I would have not have booked the coaching, but it would have been nice to have had the free resources. So you will see that there is a link on here that will take you to the course. The beauty of it is he goes live once a week, I think on Wednesdays, and that's great if you can catch him live so you can ask him questions. But if it doesn't work out that way with your work schedule, what you do is you just log on and you take a look at the class of the day on there once a week. It's good stuff. Okay, so you want to go register for that. You kind of want to be on his radar for free resources that comes down the line. The very first one you want to start with is, you'll see a video on the top right when you go to the link, and it will say how to design a plan for advancement. That's like your basics and your intro video. Go there. Understanding MLM. So I put in a YouTube link right there. It's a cartoonish like thing, and what it is it's the 4-year career summarized in about 3 minutes. And it's a good place for you to start. It's also a good place to read that you can send out to other people. You are going to meet family members, people who don't buy into this model and don't understand it. That's okay. I've been doing stuff people don't understand for many, many years, and I'm okay with that. You get used to it after a while. So that's sort of like a quickie little, if you want to be sharing that with other people. One of the most important things for me to convey to all of you is we don't want to be product peddlers, and we don't want to be stuffing businesses down people's throats. We want to truly be serving people to our highest good and our highest potential, and being what we're supposed to be when we grew up. And I believe that we can do that when we are open and honest, full of integrity, and we're marrying the two, the business and the products together. So there is another link underneath that. So these links, it might take you a day or two to get through this stuff. That's okay. This isn't meant for you guys to go and digest this all in an hour. This is meant to be thorough and comprehensive to give you the skills that you need to get there. The next one, page number 2, step 4, is the 7 steps to inevitable success. What you're going to find here is you're going to start getting some of the information on the you. What's your why? Why do you want to do this? How do you do this with integrity? Some of the methods. So I think you'll find that very helpful. The next one, bullet point number 5, is how to use the 4-year career. The 4-year career refers to being able to build a successful business in 4 years, as opposed to going the route of a 4-year college degree. Sorry, I'm outside, so of course my papers are doing some blowy. That if I'm in the house, the dog's barking, the birds chirping. 4-year career comes in 3 different books. There is the straight 4-year career. There is the 4-year career for women. There is the 4-year career Young Living edition. You need to take a peek at them. They're all a short read, like maybe a 2-hour read, pretty short. You need to read them and decide which one works best for you, because it's going to be you handing this book to other people. The Young Living edition has a subsection in the back, and it tells personalized stories about different Young Living people. Kara Kozia and Stephanie, 2 of our upline leaders, are featured in that book. It is very good for people who are very basic and really starting at the beginning of business and expertise. I found it almost a little bit too light, right? So it depends on, you're going to have to know your audience. The 4-year career for women works for those who are about doing this with women. Again, a little bit lighter in content. The 4-year career, as it was originally written, is the one that speaks to me the most. It gives a little bit more of a technical explanation of things, but I found it to be the most professional and most solid and well written. You need to figure out which one works for you. Richard Bliss Brooks goes through a whole video on how to use this after you've read it and come to understand it, and share it with others. There's a mindset behind this. It's a tornado. There's a mindset behind this. When you are handing this to other people, at a minimum, even if they do not become business builders with you, it at least helps dispel the MLM myth. So it may mean that they become a different type of customer for understanding the business, right? And that's a positive thing. It also helps you get comfortable with any of the old junk money issues you might have inside about talking to people about money, business, closing a sale, putting value on what you're providing to them. It's important to understand that not all businesses should be MLMs, right? There are some businesses that would make absolutely no sense. Your doctor's office, right? But when you've got a high-end product and it requires a certain amount of teaching and education in order for folks to be using it to the maximum benefits to themselves and their family, it's important that they don't just walk into Walmart and purchase it and then Google it. Our value added as MLM folks in this particular model truly is that we are teaching and educating and empowering and showing them where the resources are so they can get to another level of wellness. That really is what they're buying when they buy an MLO, a direct marketing product from an MLM person. And our role is very important. I think that we need to work hard to make sure our folks are getting serviced really well from a customer service perspective, as well as knowing where to go to get education and resources around them. So that's all the stuff you're going to find on page 2. The other thing is, I really think that we should be able to do this as inexpensively as possible. So this isn't like starting a new business where you have to go out and buy inventory and all of these things. So while I think it is helpful, if you can so afford it, to buy these books and give them to people, I also want to provide you with the option of, if finances are limited right now, how do you still do this? Well, Audible allows every new enrollee to get 2 free books. So you can send them over to Audible with a screenshot of the 4-year career over to them and say, go sign up for Audible and get your 2 free books. So that way you're not spending, and you still can use the same method and go from there. So that's a free way to do it. Page number 3. What you're going to see is I made this little sheet here. You'll see a little grid, right? I have to laugh at my notes. I don't know if my notes ever appear logical to other people, which is why I'm doing this video with them. I have been using the same system of keeping myself organized for probably 30 years now. These look like my college notes. So if they don't resonate with you, it's okay. You can tell me this is a little cuckoo and can you help me out here? You're going to see in column 1 is the column of always go one level ahead. So if this is your first time jumping into this arena and building your business, you're at distributor level. And what you want to do is focus on recruiting 2 friends who may be interested in using the product and maybe building the business. Okay, so it's planning you for your next step. If you're starting this, because we've got folks starting at all different levels in this group, if you're starting at star, it tells you what your team volume is to get to star, and then what your focus is for the moving forward. So for example, if you want to rank up to star, you would want to help 2 friends and help those 2 friends get on Essential Rewards. Okay, then it goes and explains that you'll get a $50 check for each starter kit where you enroll people. You get 25% of their ER purchase for the first 90 days, then 8% for life. Now, there are all of these incentives that have been laid out for us this month to take advantage of. You can get a succulent diffuser, a bottle of rose, free shipping for your customers, free coaching with all of these different folks, an ARIA if you level up to executive, and if you level up to silver, gold, or platinum, you get a select 30, you get 30 bottles of oils for free. To me, that's pretty good incentive. So with the holidays coming, this is helping getting your holiday shopping done if you can score some of these extra things. In addition to that, so you're going to see what to focus on. Then you're going to see our promos in a way that I tried to simplify it for you. Then you're going to see Stephanie Moram's contest. Stephanie Moram is our Diamond's Diamond. So we have Kara Kozier, and then we have Stephanie Moram. She's a Canadian. Good Girl Gone Green. And if you're interested in her site, let me know. If you're a green person, somebody who wants to look at reducing your footprint, your carbon footprint, she is a good person to follow and has a lot of different ideas on that. She is running 2 Aroma Completes. So she is offering the 120 bottle of oil collection valued at $3,000 to 2 folks who enroll during September, October, November. I think it's December, but I'm not sure. I think, no, it stops in November. She has also scored some coaching sessions with like Melissa Pepping, the woman who invented Savvy Minerals, Ray Higdon, who is a social media guru, all sorts of different fun people. And when every time you enroll somebody, you get another entry into this raffle, right? So you so want to do this. I put the link to the form so that every time you do an enrolling, when you place a PV order of 300, if you place your Essential Reward order before the 10th of the month, each of those gets you another raffle ticket in the lottery. You have as good a chance as anybody else, right? So go for it. The grand prize for her is a, if I'm not mistaken, it is a being on the cover of a Woman's Network Marketing magazine and a photo spread and a story about yourself, right? I'm all about that. So I think that would be pretty cool. Okay, next section on page 4, simple business building resources. There's number 1 is your own link. I put the information on there as to where you go to make your own business building link. Really, it's really simple. After you make it, click on it so you know that what your customers are seeing, okay? Your second option, if you're a little bit fancier than that and you like to be extra, the Coziers have put together what we call the Divine Wellness Project, and it is a web-based service that each of us can have our own landing page. You can blog on there. You can put all these different things that you want to educate your specific customer base about. And it also works as a referral link. So if you want somebody to go and they'll see your blog, your why, whatever you want to add to that particular page, it's just a little bit more personal than this link. Is it necessary? No, it's not necessary. It's nice. And it might be something that you might want to do down the line. So there's, that's there. If you want to see what it looks like, you can go to announcements on the Lakeview page. And under one of the announcements, I have mine. It will say Divine Wellness Project, like backslash Kay Cooney. So you might find that helpful if you want to see what it looks like. Next link is once a month, Kristen Boucher, who is our platinum leader. She puts together a Sway, which is a like PowerPoint presentation or Excel. It's one of the Microsoft tools. And it is a newsletter that has all of the stuff, all of the promos, all of the local classes, anything you ever want promoted in there, it's there. But the nice thing about it is it's a teeny tiny little link that you can email people, send to a message, send a message on Facebook. You can text them with it, and it gives them all this information. So check that out. It's a resource for you to use and share. Number 3, you don't need your own Facebook page. If you want your own Facebook page, I will support you till the cows come home. I have no problem with that whatsoever. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to teach you about what I've learned from my own mistakes. I wanted my own Facebook page because I'd already had a social media presence beforehand, and I wanted to transfer that over into a page. It was what worked for me. But that page is there. We are now officially over the Facebook algorithm piece because we're up to 650 folks. Higher and higher you get in that group, the more and more people in the group start seeing the messages more and more. We have incredibly healthy engagement on there. We have good engagement. It is a perfect place for you to invite any of your newbies as well as your new potentials, right? I have no limitations as who can be on that page. Your family can be on that page. You make that page whatever you want on that page. Honestly, I don't want it to be the K Show. I'm tired of it being the K Show. We've had folks that have stepped up, and we're doing a, like on Monday was Angelic Messengers, on Tuesday was Crystals. But it's hard for people to sustain that because I think it gets demoralizing if people don't click, post, comment. Your comments, clicking doesn't help with the algorithms, but you commenting on posts ensures that more people are going to end up seeing it in the group than if it's been ignored and or just clicked on. So if you didn't know that, that's a really important thing to know about Facebook. I would love to see us resurrect having you guys posting an introduction of yourself to the group and owning a particular knowledge set. So if you think you're weak in animals or kids or otherwise, would you take on the challenge of learning about that and starting to do one post a week, on a specific day of the week, or 2 posts a week. If you feel really passionate about specific supplements and you want to talk about them on a regular basis, maybe you'd adopt those. So whatever the strategy is, I am very much open to folks going live, doing cooking demonstrations, just posting their own pictures of using the oils. I think it's important for your members to see you as a growing expert alongside of them, and it helps me. I just don't want it to be K-Page. I want it to be all of our page. So consider that. You are duly invited. Let's see. Next. Flip this over. Anything that gets shared on that page or sent to you by way of Project Broadcast is fair game. Okay, so what I mean by that is you can use that to send on to others. You can put it on your own page. You can put it on Instagram. You can share. You can edit. You can do anything you want with the material that I put there. That is my way of going out and grabbing resources and handing them to you to go and run with however you want to run your business. So please don't feel that you ever have to ask to share that information. That is yours. How can I be of help to you? I can do Zytos. I can do remote Zytos. I can actually send the hand cradle out to you to do in your community, and I can do them remotely from there. I can come to your events. I can speak at your events. I can speak with you. I can go to events that you're hosting. I can come alongside and train you, or you can come to the various events that I do and do hands-on and learn till you get comfortable. Some of you are going to do events and you're going to love it. Some of you are never going to do an event, and your niche is going to be one-on-one with people. And that's okay. There's no right or wrong in this. So whatever works for you, but please know that I am here as a resource, or to reach up to somebody better and bigger than me to help get you the resources that you need for different events or conference calls or webinars or whatever we want to do. Project Broadcast. Project Broadcast is that little, those text messages that come to you from me from my 617-420-3899 number. It can do an awful lot of stuff. It can send out the, hey, it's the promo of the month and here's a special, or people can use it for class. So I put some very specific information in there. If you have not yet done it, please reply menu to that. Oh, actually, no, I can take that back. I put on here what classes are available on here so that you can instruct people. If it's a new person that just got a kit, you're instructing them to put let's go. And 2 words, let's go. And they then get a whole series on essential oils 101, safety, using a carrier oil, making a roll-on, diffusing, all that good stuff, okay? If they are somebody who is not yet a customer and you're not sure exactly where they're going to fit in on all of this, you want them to put menu. And from this list, you will know what is on the menu. Is that all I got? I think that's all I have. I think that's a really good place for us to start. So what I'm going to do is ask you guys to take the time, go through some of those videos and resources on there, and then let's use this Facebook chat messenger to clarify questions and think about, do we want to talk weekly and do a Zoom? Do we want to do it one-on-one? Totally up to you guys how we do this. I am open to your voices, your input on all of this. And if there were major pieces that I missed out of this that you feel you need to be successful, will you please say so? I was trying to put the minimum, and even that was 5 pages long. So it just really depends on what you guys want. I am here for you. I'm looking forward to working with you guys and having a really successful period. I will tell you that the months of October, November, December are the absolute most prolific in Young Living, as they are in most retail. You will want to plan in your head that the day after Thanksgiving is nothing short of nightmarish if you do your work now. I forget what my sales were, but they were in the ballpark of a 1 day of sales of close to 16,000. And so we will want to prepare for that as a team. I've learned my lesson, and I know that this year on Black Friday, I will want to be doing it with more of us around so that we are tag teaming and dividing up responsibilities. But something to think about, that we're coming up onto a really hot retail season. So this is a beautiful time to get out and launch extremely successful. I thank you for trusting in me to lead you and guide you in this, and I look forward to partnering with all of you ladies being successful. Have a great night, and I look forward to your comments.